But you can have
What the hell?
Trent. What
was
the hell
that?
are you doing?
So lazy.
You lazy.
How dare he? I would
Couldn't-
never do that.
Couldn't walk around. He's
Couldn't
probably
walk
setting
around?
up the creep takeover, but
Oh,
he still ruined the show.
Yeah.
we're all very upset about it. Thank
Oh.
you. Vengeful Spirit, a cheap pick here coming out.
Is this the first Venge we've seen? I feel like
It's
it.
got to be one of the early ones.
Not the first one, because we also saw Beast Coast do it when they didn't have any money left. And they won with it, which is why Vengeful Spirit's actually so expensive right now. Just like Drow. She was 10 yesterday, now she's 39.
Oh, okay.
Venge is one of my favorite heroes to watch just because of any role that it could take. You know, even if you don't want to be a support Venge, you actually want to transition. The Agnum Scepter on that hero is actually kind of broken in a way. Wouldn't you agree, Purge? I've seen you carry with that bad boy before.
It is super good, just because you get your spells again. And also your ulti goes on a 10-second cooldown, so you can use it pretty much constantly.
Yeah.
Like, dying doesn't matter anymore on the hero, unless they have like a lion or somebody with a hex and they
And what's
kill
the
you.
final thing it does?
One
One more thing.
Cast spells. I'm not sure.
Swap creeps.
Oh, you can swap creeps with that?
Yes.
Oh my
Very
God.
nice.
I did not know that.
Very helpful.
Okay.
It actually is pretty nice.
I like it with an Aether Lens, because then if you get to like level 20, level 25, you can lower your magic missile cooldown. It can go through BKB, and then you become ultra obnoxious. You can just stun for every like 1.8 seconds out of 3. Very good with the Luna though.
Yep.
Luna
Both
increases
auras.
your primary attribute, and then the Vengeful Spirit aura increases that damage by another 30%. So they're going to be able to deathball really hard.
I will say that there is a very innate strength in Vengeful Spirit. When you have evil creeps on your team, we've disabled most ways to deal with them. You know, because they're friendly creeps for you. You can't Midas them.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. There's only like 3 spells. You got Endalons with Enigma.
Endalons.
You got Doom Devours.
You can't devour your allied creeps.
You
Continue-
can't?
No.
Well,
Keep
you
going.
can't devour the creeps in general now. The creep takeover creeps at all.
That's
Guys,
a shame.
Got anything else?
Can you add
And-
on the creep takeover?
Yes.
Okay.
We have tested it.
Yes, it works. It's fine. It won't break. And you could swap a creep into the Roche pit and let the beast be.
Wait. But to do that, you have to actually go into the Roche pit yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine if Cinderin was playing yesterday as Vengeful Spirit. That creep was falling around everywhere.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
You could have swapped the beast in and had a nice time.
Or what you can do is walk by like an ancient camp, aggro it, drag it into your creep, get your creep
Yeah.
below half, and then you just deny the shit out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Rue is nervous. He's
Why?
crying. I'm going to take him off the panel. Someone come save Mr. Rue. He's crying.
Reginald!
He doesn't want to be on the panel anymore.
Reginald doesn't listen anymore.
What?
Reginald is
Just
dead.
let go of the leash. He'll go be free.
He'll wander off. I'm
He'll
sure
leap
it'll
to
be
his
fine.
death?
He'll go poop in a corner or something. I don't know.
No, don't make him leap off
I'm
the
sure
stage.
that somebody in the crowd would take care of him right now.
All right, come up and grab him.
Come up
please.
and grab.
It's a VIP bonus.
VIP
Oh,
experience.
yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Oh. Take good care of my son. I love you, my son. Off into the crowd with you.
Never to be seen again.
Good boy. All right.
All right.
He's gone. You'll never see me.
He's got some fan is like, I've got it. Time to sell it.
Run.
We got him. What a good boy. All right, anyway, so Rubik is going to be banned out. We're seeing some pretty expensive bans here as well, 76
Yeah.
Moonbucks.
Yeah.
Actually, more expensive than 2 of their previous hero picks. That's pretty
Wow.
important.
Wow.
Treant
teaches us a lot.
Protector.
Yeah, our show,
Good.
by the way, it's nothing compared to the show Mr. Rue's given over
Yeah.
there. So.
Yes.
They don't care about us anymore.
Yeah, it's
They're like, wait, we can all touch Mr. Roof.
Yeah.
finally?
He's actually dancing in a little top hat right now. You
Yeah.
can't see it.
You can't see it, but he's doing it.
It's amazing. All right, so what does this mean with this Rubik ban? Are they actually going to go for something like an Enigma? Some kinda
Puppy's just
huge-
preventing Dendy from playing Rubik.
What? It's the EGM special, guys.
What's that?
EGM was like the original Rubik player.
Oh.
The
Remember?
original.
Yeah, he was like very famous for his Rubik play. You guys don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Slacks. I know you didn't watch Dota then, but
Nope.
EGM very famous. He was like the original Rubik player with Kuroki, more or less.
That's
Like
true.
those two guys, they were the Rubik players.
I think EGM and FY were the original position for let's play all over the place players.
Yeah, very, very, very talented players.
Expensive Shadow Demon, but now
Yes.
you can have some illusions of the enemy Luna. Which is
Luna.
Or of the Venge. Both heroes, if you make illusions of them, you're going to get the aura for the benefit
true.
of your team. It's actually a great disruption, but definitely against Luna. It's best against Luna.
Yep.
10 seconds.
That classic combo never seems to go away. It always peaks back up a couple times every tournament.
I mean, you can pick a combo with Shadow Demon now as well if you really want, like a Marana or a Lesh or something like that.
Or a Kunkka, which people have loved in this
Kunkka is
tournament.
so expensive, though.
He is expensive.
It hasn't stopped people, though.
It's true.
apparently.
That's true.
Right.
Marana is expensive as well, by the way, for that matter.
Sure. Well,
Yeah, you're right. Wow.
Okay.
Damn.
this takes me back. Weren't you saying Navi's old puppy flaming
Oh, yeah.
the Venomancer?
I remember the
Oh,
Venice
shit,
friends.
it's happening again.
All the
Oh, no.
Navi fans were so upset.
Here we go one more time, Navi fans. Puppy with the Veno against the Lions.
Yep.
Gracious.
It's so inexpensive.
Yeah.
It is pretty cheap. But is it really good? I mean, when Night Stalker's rolling up at you and you Venomous Gale him and then he just rolls up and kills you anyway, is that a big deal?
I mean, Gale's a good solution against Grave. Is one really good way. It's decent against Night Stalker. Like, all the slow is great. Once you get the 15 talent, the extra Poison Sting slow,
Yep.
it's like 30%, I think, a little bit more than 30%. Just basically you're always slowed by 30%. Against Night Stalker, that's going to add up with whatever other stuff you're throwing out. So I think Venom's a pretty decent pick. It's like area control. Just got to Gale him, maybe bomb him, and let your teammates deal with him.
Yeah. Very, you can see these bans are still coming out. Only one ban has been skipped from Alliance, which is pretty interesting. Community, keep on banning that techies. Thank you for that. That's really great.
Coming from you? Why?
I mean,
It's getting expensive, too.
it is getting pricey. It is picked and banned so often for no reason. It is becoming one of the most expensive heroes.
I mean, we had to increase the first round banned prices a little bit because like Night Stalker was always squeezing in there, but wasn't increasing in price too much.
Ah.
So Techies is just kind of getting that.
He's just getting that price up.
Yep.
What can he do? All right, so we got some more picks coming out. Anything? What do you think would be a good carry here for Navi? Anything crazy? Or is that what they need?
Oh, Luna's the carry.
Right.
More
Excuse
so.
me.
Is Veno a mid? Do you
Veno
play
is a
mid?
core in this case.
A 4?
I also looked up the Veno game. It did have a Vengeful Spirit in it, but the rest is all different. And it was a 15-minute win for Alliance as well. Just to
Goodness.
give some context there and how
Oh.
bad the Venomancer actually
Oh
was.
boy, this is such a puppy thing to do.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Doesn't work? Try it again.
9 years ago, this
It was like grand finals time, game 1. Let's try Venomancer.
we're doing it again. I know this can work, and I'll prove it.
I think it was Ti2 against IG, or against pretty much the entirety of the tournament. Everyone was picking Naga. I mean, Naga's a hero every TI, but he
Yeah, yeah.
refused to ban it.
Yeah.
Absolutely refused
Yes.
to ban it. I don't know if that's why they lost. Probably not, but
I mean, it did lead us to have the play,
true.
you know?
Very true.
And they won that fight, even though the reason it was the play is because nobody was expecting them to win that fight because Naga was such a strong hero then.
All right, I need some help with positions here. I've been told that Night Stalker is good as a 1 through 3, so he's pretty versatile. I mean, Shadow Demon, Dazzle pretty much have to be your supports. I've seen
No.
Dazzle mid
Dazzle's gonna be
before.
mid, probably.
Oh, that is a mid.
I assume.
Dazzle mid.
Most people have been playing Dazzle as a mid so far in this tournament and consistently in other tournaments as well. Like he's just not that great as a support. He doesn't transition very well.
Is
His
he that
skills-
good as a mid, though?
I mean, you get cooldown reduction, so you can push very often. His spells are definitely better. Like, the more levels you get on the hero, the better, just because he accelerates with cooldown reduction.
Necronomicons and all that jazz.
Yeah, Necros, Midases,
I
you get
will
more
say-
poison touches.
We haven't talked much about the Abaddon pick. That's pretty good, especially against Venomancer. You know,
Yeah.
get hit with that Gale, instant purge off there. Big saves. Ben's whole kit is about getting people out of position, unsavable place. We got saves for days on Ti3 Navi
Yeah,
Alliance.
the spell's Overgrowth. It's actually really strong, this game.
Yeah, pretty value pick, but you can see in the prices, man. Look at that. Oh,
Oh.
cheap Medusa, 50 Moonbucks. Not really taking out too much these days, eh?
But don't you play Medusa mid, ideally?
Yeah, unless you're in
Is
pub.
it safe lane Medusa or safe lane Dazzle? Are they going to maybe aggressive try?
Oh,
Oh, they got brooded.
the classic. Well, this changes everything, huh? The last big brood.
They don't
Yeah.
have a great brood. Medusa can be okay later, but other than that, they have nothing to kill these spiders.
Yeah, a lot of single target
Oh, I
stuff.
guess Dazzle
Dazzle's
to a
good.
degree. Yeah.
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 You can shadow wave the creep wave and blow up the little spideys because it's all physical. But yeah, it's definitely a little interesting.
But actually killing the brood is going to be really hard, feels like.
Yeah, they have literally no. Do they have any stuns? Just void at nighttime. That's
I mean,
it?
once you get Aghanim Scepter,
Hey!
that's pretty good.
Can't you avoid during the daytime now? Or didn't they
Yeah,
change that?
it does full damage, but it doesn't stun or slow.
Oh,
well, it
God.
slows only. It doesn't stun though. during the day.
Daystalker.
So it's basically not Brood was a pick. It was a real good
It
pick.
was a
Yes.
pick. Well, they paid money for it with that very
That-
precious. They only had 400.
I didn't get to see the end score,
Oh.
by the way. Can we go back to the draft to see how expensive these drafts were? We
Woo.
have a 845 versus 606. So
Value draft from Navi.
yeah.
Not too
Value
bad.
draft indeed.
I actually think they have the better draft anyway, despite being value. Am I wrong here?
I would go Navi this. I mean, it's really just the Brood more than anything,
Yeah.
honestly.
I could see Alliance's draft doing something special if there wasn't a Brood, potentially. But when the Brood shows up, it feels like, oh, God, what are they going to do now? You know,
Yeah.
It's like, so they have to, what's important against Broods is that you have to not feed in the lane against Brood, and then you need to gank it a couple times between like the 10 and 15-minute mark if possible, like commit a lot of heroes and smokes to it. And if you're successful, the Brood's not going to be as big of a deal. But if Brood like dumpsters the lane, pressures really hard, gets a ton of farm, then it's going to make the game a lot harder to play.
Yeah, I am. I like Navi's draft.
Against the Brood, right? I guess you do have the potential of sort of keeping yourself alive, or whoever does get gone on by the Brood alive a little longer. But in terms of killing and catching the Brood, you won't have much to offer. The only real lockdown they have, reliably, I mean, even if you could say reliably, is like the Void stun from the Night Stalk, and that's not great, right? You do not have any way to hold down this Spider.
Yeah, and they have so many auras, too. You have Luna Aura, Venge Aura, you're going to have Veno Wards, Tree Armor, the big root coming out. Like, this Broodmother is going to be able to... If you get Roche early, this is... If there were a game to spend bucks on a Super Roche for Alliance, this has got to be it. Because you need to try and slow down Navi's tempo.
Let's see. Let's see if Alliance have what it takes to slow down and counter the Dendy Brood that Navi have brought to the fray. We will see sort of the switch up in position. They are going to put Loader in the mid lane to farm against the Spider and take Chessie to the safer spot, as would be a bit of a death trap, I imagine, right? You just cannot put a Deucer on her own in the mid lane against the Spider, which I guess she just gets dove under tower every single time.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just not a... You can't lane.
There we go. So Navi, they've already got themselves the first bounty of
Oh,
the day
remind me to post trivia questions.
And we do. Kyle has prepared some beautiful Dota 2 trivia questions for the team.
How many do we have to do every game? 3?
We can do up to 3 in the game, and you can do them at any time you want. So you can do it at quiet
I'm gonna do
times,
them.
or you can do it in the middle of a team
Definitely
fight
middle of team
to add to the chaos. Anyway, in terms of the beginning of this match, top lane, EGM is going to be able to walk out of this by the looks of it, unable to get the slow. The side lane setups seem to be Light of Heaven and Puppy standing up top with this Veno Treant lane. Havorst is going to be farming down bottom with the backup of the art style Vengeful Spirit. So choosing to farm aggressively into the Deucer lane, is that Navi's plan here? They're trying to get this lane matchup, or were they looking to dodge something?
I think that this is... I don't know. I mean, you don't really care if you're Dendy who's going up against you mid. Although Baden, with those right clicks, might actually be better suited than I figured. He has 12 base damage advantage. So I'm not sure what they were looking for, in truth. This top lane is going to be real difficult for Alliance, though. Veno Tree is insane in the safe lane. You have so much slow. They just don't have any TP cancel.
For sure, very hard for Bulldog and EGM to make any sort of aggressive play. You see already Puppy just coming out for the trees, punching on the Bulldog, taking him down to under half HP. He does have a couple of tangos in himself prepared for the lane, but a lot of bullying Light of Heaven and Puppy can do together. Mid lane, we'll see how the CS does go down. At the moment, pretty even. And as you can imagine, even if Loader is somehow to make the magic happen and sort of keep Dendy on his toes at the start, Dendy is always going to be able to catch back up, being the Brood that he is and heading into the jungle. A lot of sort of pressure, I feel, is going to be on to Alliance to make those plays during the first night time, get Bulldog active, and just make sure that Navi don't get away with rolling ahead very early on in this game.
Yeah, for sure. And up top, you look, they've already rotated Puppy out. He's going to be going in bottom.
Okay, so extra pressure onto Chessie, and as you said, well, that lane up top would have been good as a dual lane. Is it still pretty fine? Veno on his own, unlikely to get gone on by these two heroes, or how careful does Light of Heaven have to be?
Definitely careful. It's surprising, honestly. You would have thought Puppy would stay up there, but they're really just trying to dominate this Medusa, it appears, because Veno does not like being in 1-on-2s without a huge lead. He needs more levels before he can do this safely.
Yeah, as it is down bottom, Chessie getting the slightly better farm in comparison to Havorst, so maybe the reason why Havorst called for Puppy to come and hang around in the neighborhood just to allow him to be a little more confident with how he goes for the creeps on this bottom lane Luna. Mid lane continues to be fairly even. Dendy with a slight advantage in denies, but still, Alliance certainly showing that they found at least a way to get something out of the lane in which the Spider is against them.
Yeah, the concern is just going to be how do you stop Dendy once he gets like level 6, level 7. There's no one that can actually stand at a tower against a spider army in this game.
Yeah, even if they sort of have TPs coming in to help, they have got saves, right? They've got the Grave, they've got the Disruption, but these are both saves really what the Brood doesn't care about, because anytime you go for a save, suddenly the support itself is going to be very vulnerable, or the Spider's just able to sort of kite it out and wait it and chase it out after the Disruption or the Shallow Grave ends.
Yeah, you've got a lot of options.
Bottom
They
lane.
rotate it out as well.
Okay, steps a little too far forward. Puppy's there waiting in the trees, and they will claim themselves first blood. Navi with the smart lane setup, making it very hard for Alliance in multiple lanes. Top lane, EGM is going to try and do his best to abuse the fact that Might Have Heaven is on his own for now, getting a fair few stacks of the poison up. Unless if he hits that fifth, it was very, very close. The 4 should not be quite enough. Looks like we do have an admin pause here. See what the reason is. Hopefully nothing has gone wrong. Whoa!
It's got that. It's got that. Like you, 'cause you got that. Something that I need in my life. So give it to me. It's got that. Like you.
Okay, well, we're back in. It looks like nothing too crazy has gone wrong. So we'll continue with the game. Bottom lane, Puppy. It's going to be met by Bulldoggers. We do see Alliance making the move, sending Chessie up towards the top lane. Now that they realize that the large amount of pressure was there from Navi down bottom. But at the same time, we see a bit of a response from Navi. Art Style will be there to stand next to Light of Heaven and just continue to make sure that they do their best to try and shut down the farm of Alliance's cores. But as it is, Chessie is still finding a lot. 17 for 7 on the CS. Bulldog and Loader as well. Really across the board, all 3 cores are farming very, very well, despite Navi's best attempts to get these lane advantages in the matchups.
Yeah, it's what you'd expect from Alliance. So, oh wow, 5 stacks.
Jerry, EGM does it this time. The poison is too much for Light of Heaven.
I think, did he hit him with a 5th when he was still holding on to the 4? I think.
No, that must that
He
was.
restacked them up and we just weren't paying attention.
I think he must have restacked them because he went through the mana and that felt like it should have timed out before. But no, maybe you're right. Maybe Light of Heaven did just stay around a little too long after we saw him get those initial 4 stacks of poison on him. 5-minute runes coming into play. We'll see if Alliance is able to grab any of them. At the moment, looks like Navi should have the edge on the control down bottom.
Yeah, Denny's having a good time though. And if you're Navi, you want to look to start playing around him soon. Loda's going to hit 6. It's going to be difficult to dive him at that point, but nighttime, Puppy grabs 1 bounty.
Woodall's going to try to do his best to punch back. See if they've got the damage to do so. Elusive beam from Havost will hold Bulldog back from Puppy, giving him the chance to back off safely. Forstan's got the creep wave coming in underneath the tower, so we'll be able to pick up the CS in a much safer sort of position. And it is nighttime though, just have to be a little wary of Bulldog maybe looking to dive in and get aggressive with Arcade's Dazzle. A little low on the mana though, Bulldog. And it does have the 1 mango and stick charges. So, same to be said, Vorse will have to hold himself pretty close to the tower. Does not want to step too far out. He does now head forward. Now they'll look for a chance to go. He's got the living armor. That will give him some sort of safety, and Puppy is in with the TP. And that will be enough to force Bulldog back. A good heal keeps Bulldog fairly healthy. Plus there for the Navi. They keep Vorse safe.
Lane is not going to be easy though.
Puppy is punching back pretty hard against Bulldog. Bulldog is going to head over towards a shop and pick up his next time. Grabs the bottle and a beautiful rune for him there as well. The regen rune, in fact. So he's going to be able to play very aggressive now during this night time. A lot of chance to play very active with the Void, and he'll go straight away back down bottom. He's got the mana to use as he opens up onto Puppy. A Vorse holds back Bulldog for a little bit with the Lucent Beam, and Puppy will survive. Won't get him quite this time. As we saw, Bulldog down with the regen room popped and ready to go. Can make sure that this lane continues to be a bit of a scary place for a Vorse to be. Stacks building up onto Wildstar. He's got 6 upon him. Got a lot of HP, so shouldn't be quite enough. EGM's trying to see if he can set up for another. The Light of Heaven will be there to make sure that EGM cannot get any closer. Now they'll try for a bit of a turnaround onto EGM. The Wave of Terror clipping him as well, taking that armor down. We'll go for a disruption, still being slowed by the Gale. The disruption looks like it was just enough. Maybe another ward dropped down, but EGM with those brown boots will be able to walk himself back over the river and towards safety. Bottom lane, a bit of a go onto a Vorse. Once again, living armor's there. Dust down onto Puppy. Still just severely poking this Luna. Still, Vorst is finding the edge in farm. Still has more last hits than Bulldog down on that bottom lane. Yeah. Despite the aggression. And again, even behind the towers, forcing a Vorst all the way back towards the tier 2. Now turning their attention towards Puppey. Still just not quite able to finish off the kills. 7.5 minutes, only 1-1 at the moment on kills.
Yeah, both these teams definitely playing to win the game, as I haven't seen much rotation at all, just a lot of skirmishing in these 2-on-2 side lanes. Dendy with 2 levels on low to mid, though.
And mid lane, Dendy, as expected, getting that lead with the way that you can utilize these camps towards the lane, something that Loader as an Abaddon is just unable to do so.
I'd like to see him start just hitting tower with these spiders, though. Like, there's no... I understand he wants to accelerate, but you just hit the tower. If you can kill it off quickly, suddenly the Ancients open up to the top left as well. That's where you really want to be playing in a perfect world, is Brood on Dire.
And those Ancients actually already stacked, so yeah, would have that extra bit of farm to be taken away from Alliance.
And that's why Brood's the hard counter to Medusa, because you deny this triple camp on this top shrine. You don't want to let Chessie just farm here whenever top lane becomes unsafe.
Top lane, EGM steps up a little too far. Does get a lot of poison out. Light of Heaven will take a heavy hit after those. In fact, a heavy hit enough to kill him off. The 5 stacks will take him out. So EGM falls, but he'll take the trade. Getting the core kill, more than happy with that one. The bounces of the Snake, perfect bounces from Chessie. Will set up for Alliance to look to try and dive in for another. Bulldog is tanking the tower though, taking quite a lot of hits. And in fact, Arstar just turns and Bulldog, oh my goodness. Oh no, Bulldog. Diving in a little too far, overestimating his ability to tank those tower hits and ends up giving a free solo kill to Arstar. Not the play that they were looking for there.
Indeed. And it happens, though. I think Bulldog would prefer... Like, the thing is, he can't go mid, right? There's a Brood Mother there. So his only option is really to dive this top tower. Venomancer, one of the hardest heroes in Dota to do that, too. Bottom, like, you have tree armor. It's going to be maxed out by Puppey. I like that decision in this game.
Yeah. No, for sure. We're seeing, Bulldog severely struggled during this night time to make any sort of aggressive plays. He's going to try and go on a Vorst, but straight away the Eclipse is out. Roots there. Grateful saving for now from Ake. But as long as they can keep the vision, lay down another leech seed to set up, Bulldog should fall instantly as he gets back into the map. I mean, you said it yourself. It's just very hard for Bulldog to go anywhere as this Night Stalker at the moment because of the hero composition of Navi. And as soon as he tried for that play up top, ends up feeding. He's down bottom. He's dying again.
Yeah, not ideal for the TI winner himself. Armor going to get popped up top. They're just doing so much to keep this Venomancer alive. You'd think that he would have died a couple times up here, but...
I mean, Arstar, he's having a great time. He's picking up another kill. It's 3-0-1 on the Vengeful Spirit. A lot of these kills seemingly just being handed to him by Alliance.
I'm going to throw out a trivia. Would you want one about move speed or Latin?
Oh, go with a surprise, Carl. I think, that both of these teams, they're very much in the zone. And it's a good time to try and catch them off. Here we go. Okay. Let's see who knows their origins.
I mean, this is pretty easy. You would think that one of the players would know without having to Google it. But
they're taking their time. Let's see who's standing still. See who's opening up the Google. Someone's opening up the Google.
They've been in they were in Navi for like 8 years. It's on their merch.
I think you've just been ignored, Kyle.
All right. I did not win a TI after that. Not surprised.
Bottom lane, Ake is going to go for the TP. It's not going to get him out. Vorst will set up with the Lucent Beam as Navi now with a 2k lead. Of course, nighttime has but come to an end, so Bulldog's chance of making any plays to get him back in is going to have to be put on a bit of a hold. As he'll wait on. Mid lane, they're trying their best to push in and claim at least something from the map. Alliance tower being kept alive by the living armor and also Light of Heaven's presence, laying down these wards, making it very difficult for them to push in with the sort of power that they'd hoped for. As Dendy getting all the space in the world inside of the jungle, staying ahead as the Spider now come back towards the mid, looks to try and play aggressive onto EGM. EGM does have a little by side. He's going to go for the self-disruption. Ake's also turned up to try and help out. A heal will keep him safe. Loader actually popping the ult to try and scare them off. Demonic Purge down onto Light of Heaven. He'll get the ult out onto the two of them, and Light of Heaven will actually stay alive to finally falls. They did have the damage from the Purge and the poison, so they get the kill on the Veno. Dendy will turn and take the trade. Moves into the river and finds Ake.
He is level 12 already. Good lord. Has the Midas up and running with 1,500 gold to boot. He finds Chessie already cleared that Ancient stack actually above. He's doing quite well himself. I think you got to up the tempo a bit if you're Navi. I know you're ahead, but your whole draft is built around abusing this advantage you'll have from about now until 20 minutes. You don't want to play into like this Manta BKB Deucer or something similar.
No, for sure. I mean, and then Chessie, as we've seen in some of the games here at Midas Mode 2, he has sort of been that carry to take Alliance, put Alliance on his shoulders and pull them through to the later stages of the game. And as a Medusa, a pretty brilliant hero to do so. And we have Ake coming in with an answer here, but that's pretty close. Are we accepting that answer?
It took a long time. And
I mean,
no,
there's
that is not the right answer.
Okay, that's incorrect. You're not accepting that?
Let me see if that's what Google Translate.
Okay, we'll see if that's what Google Translate says. And then are you accepting it if Google Translate is saying that?
No, we would not accept it. Yeah, no, even Google Translate, it's born to win. That's the right answer.
Okay, so, So no points going to Ake or Alliance for that answer, unfortunately.
I don't know how a Navi player doesn't know that.
Navi's just, no one's answering you. I guess they just didn't like the question card.
Maybe I'm muted. If only Twitch chat.
They may have all muted you. That is a possibility. They may have you muted, Kai. A 3K lead for Navi, 7-3. Definitely still a little bit of expectations for them to use this advantage before it does sort of tick on, and you do see Chessie continue to hold on to that very high spot in net worth. Sure, Dendi is ahead, but Chessie, for the Deucer, he's also doing very well. 13 minutes in, pretty much level 12. He's getting his items. It doesn't matter sort of how strong of a push you have. If the game does go on and Deuce is there prepared on the high ground, it's going to be very difficult to push into bottom lane. They'll lose the tower, but Alliance are there ready to make some trades happen because of it. Vorce will fall. Puppey surrounded. They've got the sentry down, giving them the vision. Alliance, they'll allow that. They'll lose a tower, but they get 2 very nice kills. Finally able to take a Vorce out.
Yeah, really well played. That setup disruption does so much damage. You get the Luna Aura and then for all your allies. In addition, those illusions do so much damage. And I'm just shocked. Like, I don't know. Dendi still has not killed this mid tower. It is approaching 15 minutes. And that circle, that's where I want to see this Brood be playing. As even as allies are like, hey, maybe we can get aggressive here, deny this Medusa triple camp. Instead, he's just swapping farm. You want to be trying to deny farm to the enemy carry.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Navi with this lead look to get inside or disrupt Chessie's farming patterns at all so far. Yeah, he's able to go wherever he wants inside of his own half of the map, and it's showing in the money that he's building up. Down bottom, Puppey keeping tabs on to Bulldog. And it's by the shrine, so it's pretty deep. Dendi's going to try and come over with the spiders to see if he can help out, go for these kills. They're by the shrine, though. Bulldog and Loader, they'll start healing up. Light of Heaven's here as well, though. Navi have the numbers. They need to bring in more Alliance if they want to try and take this, but already a TP's been cancelled. Alliance know that this is not a fight to respond to, as Navi now starting to ease up the tempo, getting over Alliance's half of the map and being willing to use this lead that they have to get the kills.
Yeah, Denny's actually going... I thought he was going to go Diffusal. He's just rushing Ags. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this or not, because traditionally, like, Ags doesn't really provide much for you outside of map movement, right? But you don't really play, like, mid-tower's not even dead. Dendi doesn't need those extra webs just yet, and it's going to be a concern if he's actually strong enough to be all around the map as the strongest hero. Chessie is doing just fine. He's going to finish a Manta right as this Ags comes out. And I just don't know if you're going to be able to siege like you want, as Loda just plants himself under tower with EGM. They're just going to keep this... Yeah, Catapult died already. Doing a really good job on Alliance to just slow this game down.
Yeah.
They are 4K down.
But I mean, if the game does slow down, they're happy. Loda, he's finished off a Midas. He sort of recognizes, hey, Chessie's getting farmed. We're going to be able to stall. Yeah. We're going to try and build towards the later portions of the game, where they will have this lineup that sort of built around Medusa, has got the answers to Navi's push and 5-map. Bottom lane, Zeta from Puppey with the ult. The save will be there for now. EGM keeping Bulldog alive as they can now turn, look towards the Vorce. The poison stacking up. Vorce will fall. EGM being focused by Puppey, but the heals there from Ake. EGM will live. They'll turn, take the 2 at them again. Alliance outplaying Navi.
But look at the damage he did to tower. That's Havos playing properly. He's supposed to be this aggressive. Look at the vision he has. This is where he's supposed to be playing. Dendi's farming his own jungle as that all went down. That is a great rotation he's able to force, but there's no pressure being applied anywhere else on the map. In fact, Chessie is already at the tier 2 top.
Chessie. And that is what the completed Manta style on the courier out towards him. As he is getting so much done and keeping on par with the farm of this Brood. Dendi's Brood with the Midas. Picking up a lot of gold there with the Snake. And just a 2K lead. You know, Navi, they do hold the lead, but it certainly feels like that number could be a little deceiving. Because are they really playing as fast as they need to? Bottom lane, Bulldog does get caught out, try to push out the bottom lane on his own. Artstyle's here as well to make sure there's no escape for the Night Stalker. Does swap him back, but actually doesn't get the chance to get the missile out. Bulldog, he's got the movement speed. Finally, the missile connection is there, but he's already up to the high ground and backups in. Loader and Ake, they're ready to keep Bulldog alive. They'll turn, look towards Puppey. EGM with the wraparound, lays down the poison. Puppey will fall. And now Artstyle still desperately trying to chase for the Bulldog kill. He'll get the magic missile out, but he's not going to get it. Artstyle falls as well as this time. Bulldog will survive as the backup comes into play. EGM, he's in fact setting up for more. The Demonic Purge is ready, slowing down her force. There's no escape for the Luna as Navi lose 3, double kill for EGM. They're walking into Alliance's trap each and every time, and now the net worth is even, Kyle.
Yeah, and again, what's happened? What's the game plan here? You have the strongest hero in this entire game of Dota, and the Brood's yet to be involved. This is the 22 pick. Mid tower is still alive.
It's true that the way Dendy's playing.
Oh, the evil creeps.
Oh, okay. So we are going to see who bought what. So by the looks of it, with them all sort of swarming Light of Heaven, you would imagine these are the, as you said, the evil creeps being purchased by Alliance. By the looks of it, as all 8 are just heading in to what? Are they blocking him off? Oh no, he's actually blocked. He's got a TP. He's got a TP. But you got to be careful of that.
You do.
If these creeps can coordinate the evil Sadim creeps, you could block off a hero.
That's very true, and let's see if they can find any other ways.
You've got to. Who are they going to be able to trap? They're on the hunt. Sadim creeps, ready to try and find their next target. And obviously, being the Sadim creeps as they are, there's nothing Navi can do to kill them. Do have to remember, of course, 7 minutes.
Oh.
They only survive for 7 minutes, so at least it'll only be 7 minutes of being trapped in position.
Vost has to be careful. If he gets blocked, all 5 heroes from Alliance are there, ready to work.
The creeps are coming.
Oh, this could be big if they body block.
Who can they block in? They're trying to sort of do their best to move around them. It is hard to do so. As long as Navi's heroes keep constantly moving, it will be hard for the Sadim creeps to hold them in position.
Look how strong Navi's lineup still is. Alliance cannot team fight into them. They have so much control over the map. Veno wards, spiders, Veno throwing out Ws, and in this tree, it's a near impossible game for you to properly work it. I'm going to throw out another trivia. Hopefully I don't get ignored on this one.
Yes, see if we have a better response this time with your question. See, this one it's a pretty hard one here.
I don't think so. The crowd should know the answer to this. There's at least 2 easy ones.
Okay. Well, we'll see if the Dota 2 players know their stuff. It is a pretty tense game, though, so I don't sort of blame them for ignoring your questions. As this one, it's a close one. So Bulldog, you did ask for 3, but maybe Bulldog's counting isn't quite up to scratch.
On both.
So he's wrong on both, and he didn't give the right number.
Correct.
So it's a good attempt, Bulldog.
Luna is actually in this game.
And okay, there we go. Okay. Oh dear. Well, back towards mid. Loader and EGM have been trapped in the trees. They get the root off. Puppey with the control under the 2 of them. EGM's still alive for now. There's the backup. Ake comes in with the grave. EGM won't fall. The ult will be down for Light of Heaven, but Chessie's ready to get involved. Stonegaze holding Light of Heaven in place. The buyback comes out from Puppey. Bulldog able to hold Artstyle off to the side of Forces, trying to get him with the Eclipse. They're backing away. The beams will bring down Ake. He gets the dazzle kill. Can they get anything more of this? Alliance still looking to poke him from the side. Chessie's still pretty strong, but now they'll surround him. The spiders are in. Out comes Bulldog with the AoE silence. Loader's in as well, forcing them back. Chessie's being focused though. Can they kill him off? The Deuce is falling low. Chessie will be healed up. Ake, can he save him? He cannot. Chessie falls. Navi get the big kill. Take down the Medusa. Dendy, he's looking to chase for more. He's on to Bulldog, but Bulldog has EGM and Ake by his side. Dendy quickly getting himself back down to the low ground through the free pathing at the webs. They did have to expand a buyback on Puppey, but the same to be said for Alliance. Ake bought back there as well. All in all, that big kill, getting Chessie finally off the map.
Finally, they actually take a fight as 5. Now you'll have a defusal up on Dendy. I don't know, man. This is a way slower game than Navi would have hoped for. Their late game isn't necessarily worse, however. You consider they've got Luna, they've got Vanj and the Brood, so they should scale.
Hello, just a mild interruption as we get back to the action. Of course, thank you to Malwarebytes for keeping us safe during these moments of downtime. As we will get back to the farming, as it were. 12 for 10, 22 minutes in. And still the two big farmers there at the top, Chessie and Dendi. The men with the money at the moment in this game.
I really like the way Navi's been itemizing it. Huh?
We got fined for that pause as well.
Okay.
I believe an unwarranted pause from Artstar there in that situation, with no excuse.
Yeah, we got a Crimson Guard picked up by Light of Heaven. It's a really good decision in this game. You're playing against Night Stalker, but specifically Dusa and Shadow Demon. There's a lot of damage block effectiveness. Keeps his team alive. Really good synergy as well with the tree armor. We saw OG use this back at Ti3, where you stacked like Dispersion and Crimson Guards and tree, all this bullshit. You effectively take 0 physical damage.
Let's see how are our Sadim creeps doing. I feel like, have we lost a fair few of them? I think some
They're
of them must
blocking
have.
camps now.
Well, one indeed making sure that no Ancients will spawn here for Dendi. And the other one at the moment keeping close to the rest of the team. Pushing in with Navi. Navi do start to come back over to Alliance half the map. They're going to look to try and utilize the pressure on the mid. They get a good swap back. Bulldog's caught out. Straight away, Artstyle finds the setup. As Bulldog out alone by that tier 2 tower, not in a safe position at all, as now here comes the push. Here's the power.
Alliance, they're taking a ton of base damage right now, and Ake is in no man's land.
And RV, they've slowly built up to this time where they know that they've got a very, very, very strong advantage with the itemization that they have, as Ake just gets torn apart on the front lines. Chessie, he's outside of the base. He's trying to hold them off, but he needs to get up to the high ground. Will be forced up. He has the Hurricane Pike to get him to safety. They've got to be careful also having to pop the Stone Gaze to make sure that Navi didn't dive in any further. But we're really starting to see, right, the sort of the power of Navi come together now. They did sort of opt to maybe not too hasty, sort of build up to this part where they have the actual sort of items and auras to move in with. But now they're here, it really is tough for Alliance to slow them down when they go in with those 5-man
They're
plays.
going to have double BKB timing as well in just a few moments. Well, not maybe a couple of minutes.
Here we go, and we are going to see the ritual sacrificing of the Sadim creeps now. They've had their 7 minutes of pleasure. As here we go, as our Roche will be more than ready to kill them. He does want to take that DD rune down with him. No, he's going to let it be there for Chessie, as Chessie's actually going to farm them up as well. As Roche doesn't get any glory, but the Sadim creeps at least working for their owners in a good way there. Of course, Alliance were the ones to buy them, and Alliance will be able to benefit from the extra bit of gold. And now Alliance, they'll push in with that DD rune. Navi, we're seeing how much they can do on the aggressive. How is their defense? They don't have Havorce with them. Havorce making the most of this space, still pushing out down bottom as his Luna. Dendi's looking for a chance to maybe get in from the side of it all. Loader going for the TP out. Poppy's got the vision. In fact, Loader's going to cancel his TP himself as Ake is in trouble. Dendi moving in onto the Dazzle. Ake's grave will finish. The shield from Loader won't save him as they're now down one member. Chessie still with a bit of time on the DD rune. As Navi will be careful how they poke in. They're going to try for the TPs out, but they can't TP out like that. Navi's just going to head up to the high ground, and they know that they messed up here, Alliance. Bulldog's just going to be the sacrificial lamb, making sure that they focus towards him as Bulldog will fall.
What? Avos just walked in with his ult action.
Wait, what was Avos doing?
Stone gazed and just died.
I guess he didn't get the memo. The whole of Navi turned and went for the Bulldog bait. Havor still tried to just run in and go for the rest of Alliance. In a classic Havor-style play, did not pay off for him at all, as he just ends up feeding up his life. I mean, he did not need to be there, but he did.
Well, at least you have some wards down from Navi. You can still get aggressive if you want, but yeah, losing Navo is not ideal, especially you consider he was just a recipe away from a BKB.
Oh, and Dendi.
Same.
Dendi's also dead. That's a big kill after a big kill, getting both Havorst and Dendi in very sort of unnecessary situations there from Navi. They did not need to have Havorst go in like that, and they certainly didn't need Dendi to hang around on that half of the map on his own as well. 2 big kills for Alliance. Is now Chessie. He'll be the one to take the top spot, as is Dusa in farm. As again, Navi, we've seen how good the pressure is in the play when they do coordinate and get things together as the 5-man. But when they're going out for these sort of solo plays and solo farming, they have to be careful, because any kill you feed towards this Dusa is going to make your game a whole lot harder.
You said that right. Roche will be the big objective that these teams need to play around, though. If either Luna or Dusa gets an Aegis, that could potentially turn the tide. Really important for both sides to try and take out the enemy support hero, specifically the Shadow Demon. EGM has been on point with both the Disrupts and the aggro purges. He's found multiple pickoffs, 8, 2, and 5, present for all but one of his team's kills. Look at that.
Again, the setup. EGM straight in with the blink. Set up onto Havorst. Havorst trying to run, but Bulldog's on top of them. Artstyle will offer up a swap to keep him a little bit safe. and it will be enough. They won't dive in any further. He's taking so much damage for the illusion. In fact, EGM, it's enough with the poison and the illusions. He ends up getting the kill, and it's 867 gold. EGM is just getting richer and richer.
Shadow Demon versus Luna, man. It's this hard counter, same as Terrorblade. I think Luna is probably the worst hero to play against SD in the game. You just get disrupted once and you're in trouble.
Here we go. They're going to go for Rush. Bulldog's trying to make a deal with a VR guy, but our VR guy, he's ignoring him, of course. He's hammering away. He's not going to listen to this. He wants to punch some of them. As Loader will have the borrowed time to tank it up. We'll see how much the VR Roche can do as he is dying. The borrowed time will finish. Loader's got to be a little careful. They do have heals. In fact, Loader bashed up. They've got the disruption. EGM making sure that this is safe. As they do get the Roshan, not quite strong enough. Having the Abaddon with the borrowed time, certainly making it easy enough for Alliance to do, as they'll get the Roshan, get the Aegis onto Chessie. Chessie, of course, now level 20 on the Medusa, and his item slots really starting to fill up. The full Butterfly, I believe, just about to be done as he has the Quarterstaff out on the Courier.
I don't think you kill him anymore. The BKBs are coming out too late from Navi. They're going to have 2 in just a moment, but Chessie's just had free farm. Like,
he really has.
He's 356 CS.
He has had all the space in the world, the Butterfly done, and as you say, he's hard to kill sort of just as his own, on his own with the items he has, but then you really add into the heroes that he has. He has 3 heroes that can save him, right? Yep. I mean, sure, Night Stalker as well with the AoE Silence is an effective save, but the fact you've got all of those, that power with the Shadow Demon, the Dazzle, and the Abaddon, there really is very few situations where they kill him unless they can perfectly pick apart the rest of the team. But with the items that he has now, Chessie's able to stand his ground and hit them. So if Navi do start going for the backlines, Chessie's going to end up killing them off before they've been able to kill off the support.
They've got so many support items too. You know, Loda's just Solar Crest Vlad's. And all these heals, as you said, like, how do you kill
Swap back, Bulldog's going to get swat straight in, gets the silence off. Chessie forcing into position aggressively with the Stone Gates, pushing them back. Bulldog will fall. Dandy and Artstyle, they'll look to try and strike back now. It's 4 versus 5. Alliance do not have the numbers. They're starting to retreat. They don't have the Stone Gaze, of course, already being used. Loda's going to be the first focus. Now, of course, with the BKB, pops the Eclipse, moving it onto Chessie. Chessie taking a lot of damage. The poison's out as well from Light of Heaven. Loda, borrowed time, healed up, turns towards Chessie with a missed call, and again, they cannot quite kill him off. You see so much damage the Navi's heroes have taken. They'll now swap back Chessie. Chessie's he's just hitting him back. Forster's got to retreat. They're kiting him up beautifully though, and they will get the kill off. They'll take him down, but it's just the once. Chessie has the Aegis. Can they really do it a second time? They'll try their best. Chessie, Hurricane Pikes down to the low ground. Dendy with the focus, burning his mana with that Diffusal Blade. Artstyle staying on top of him, but Orphotic Shield's out. Loda keeping him alive. A defensive disruption from EGM. Chessie is more than fine, and Puppy's got to be careful. Puppy getting focused. He's into the trees. The dust will catch him. Chessie's hunting. He's going to find him. Manta to remove the root. Puppy's still backing away from this all, but Bulldog's back in on top of him. Puppy will die. They cannot kill the Deucer twice. Only the once, and now Light of Heaven left behind in the river, slowed down by Bulldog's Void. As a double kill is picked up for Chessie. Dendy does manage to pick up EGM on the back lines.
He's so strong. Bulldog's in trouble.
Dendy's trying to go for this. Chessie is here. Chessie, can he have the damage to pull Dendy off? Dendy, he's certainly picking them apart. Double kill for Dendy. Can he get another triple kill? Now, can he get away, Chessie? Can he quite find him? He cannot. Dendy able to rectify that fight perfectly for Navi. It was a bit of a disaster, but he's able to get in and pick up a triple kill off the back of a fight that his team had already lost.
Not bad. That's the power of the Brood, right? You come in late, all BKBs have faded, no ult on Loda. And Chessie, like, they're just a poor fight. Bulldog got swapped in. This is a 4-on-5. Otherwise, Alliance can certainly push their advantage. Now they might need to wait for the next night time to get aggressive. And their whole damage output is just Chessie. That's the concern with the lineup.
Oh. Nice play there from Marstar. Getting the swap back onto Ake to make sure the bounty rune goes the way of Navi. Ake will manage to escape with the Glimmer.
The Alliance have to be better about maintaining this like concentrated area that they stand in, because you need to play around Medusa. If you get pincered or caught maybe 1,000 units from the fight, there's no one that can actually help peel them off of you. You can maybe prevent some damage, you can get graved, but like Chessie is your whole threat. And when the Crimson Guard's up, he's just tickling. Still no real damage item picked up yet. Wait for the MKB, the Mjolnir, the Daedalus, whatever he chooses. That'll be when he starts to get a little spookier.
We are still seeing how spooky EGM is, though. Level 21 on the Shadow Demon, and as we saw, they're forcing a force to BKB and TP out of that bottom lane. Especially when he gets that 25, this Shadow Demon is something that you're going to have to look towards. One of Navi's members getting on top of it at the start of the fight, and Dendi will be here with the spiders. The slowdown's there. EGM caught out of position. It's a big kill. Getting rid of that Shadow Demon threat for 80 seconds could give Navi a bit of a window to make something happen.
That's the main target. If Archstyle can keep doing that, that's huge for Navi. The SD, just with the disruption on the Havos Luna, represents like not the same damage as Dusa, but like 70-80%.
Yeah, for sure, particularly in terms of their physical damage output. As a Team Alliance Bulldog has been found in the trees, will pop the ult in an attempt to get away. Can they chase this one down? Magic missiles out, and Dendi's got the damage. Bulldog's dead. It's Dendi, the spider. He played it very sort of slow and safe this game, but is certainly looking to pay off now. Level 25. And causing a serious issue for a lot of the members of Alliance. And look at this push, Navi into the base. Chessie, can he hold this? He's without EGM and Bulldog, and the base is just getting ripped apart from Navi. They'll finish off the full set of Rex down bottom. A buyback comes out from EGM. Can they make Navi pay for this? The swap back, Arstyle getting EGM right onto the front lines. It's a beautiful setup, but Ake's there with the save. The Graves out. EGM, will he still go down? The Stone Gates from Chessie holding them in place, but they've lost EGM. It's a dieback on the Shadow Demon. The BKB's out from Dendi, but he's taking hard hits from Chessie. BKB now ends as he backs off. And Puppy's still staying close to that last tree. Will be able to sneak away, but Navi certainly doing it, getting the racks, and Artstyle again, fantastic swaps to punish that buyback from EGM.
That's all he's got to keep doing. If he can find the Shadow Demon every time, he had it up, could have potentially gone for Chessie, but they know that's not the target they want to go for. It's the Shadow Demon, and once again, he dies without an aggressive disrupt. They're just outplaying Alliance right now, 21-18, 34 minutes. They don't need Aegis. They can just try and sweep back towards top, take the Shrine, take 2 towers, grow that gold lead. Everybody gets +1 item. You're going to have Ags on the Venge in a second, lower that swap cooldown.
We're sort of seeing it with the Brood at this point is very good at sort of playing around the spells like the Stone Gates, and so just getting in and out. Whoa, 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 whoa. He's heading in. He's got the Satanic, so he's feeling confident, and does, of course, have the rest of his team now by his side. So now they can just charge down another lane. They're just about to have the creeps come in as well. In fact, at the moment, they're just fighting through the backdoor protection. Another Tier 3 tower down. Loader going in on the front, but EKB popped by Havors. We'll pop out the borrowed time from Loader. See if Navi want to continue to stand their ground. They're still pushing in. They know there's 25 seconds without EGM, and Bulldog gets swapped straight back into the midst of them all. Chessie trying his best to push them off. The Stone Gaze is back up. Puppy pops the ult to catch him out, but the Manta removes the root. Caught out Light of Heaven, but the Crimson Guard buff keeping him safe and sound. They cannot quite get the kills, Alliance. They just do not have the damage, especially without that poison stacking up with EGM being dead.
Yep, and Puppy. I love that if there's anyone in this game trying to win, it's definitely Puppy, because he's itemized properly. His warding's been excellent. The Force Staff first. It's like all you need in this game, because as you can see, the real disable from this Radiant lineup, it's just the Stone Gaze, and guy turns around, force him out. How do you actually chase anybody down as Alliance this game? You have no stuns.
I mean,
play perfect.
Sort of the power would have been for Alliance, the fight being brought to them, having this Deuce on the high ground, but apparently, Chessie just doesn't have that sort of a power on his own. Navi would just able to push in underneath his nose on that bottom lane. He needs something big, and he is queuing it up. The Rapier could just be what they're missing to have that extra bit of damage to make sure they actually get some sort of a kill off the back of these pushes that Navi are successfully getting away with.
Yeah. He has the 2 ultimate orbs, unfortunately, was going for Scotty, now with 4,200 dead gold on his person. Not ideal for the Dusa.
It's certainly understandable why having to consider these sort of drastic, obviously less efficient measures. It is a game now where they're down 18k gold, and a bottom set of racks has been taken away from them. Navi really taking full control of the map now. It's very hard for Alliance to get out without causing an instant reaction from Navi, and Navi are more than happy to take a fight with the lead that they have right now. Especially a fight outside of the base. The best hope for Alliance really is a high ground defense, but so far that hasn't been going too well for them. So there are just 3 cores on Navi that look absolutely massive. Dendi, Havorst, and Light of Heaven all fully geared up and ready to take on Alliance in these fights.
How do you? That's the question. Their gold lead's huge.
Chessy does opt to finish off that Skadi, make the most of those orbs, of course. And
Dude, look at the items on Navi, man. The team fight. The Venomancer has Crimson, Solar, Vlad's AC. So many auras picked up. Even the drum's still held by Art Style.
see,
Rosh up.
it's going to be something that they should have the damage to take down pretty quickly. Got a lot of physical. Obviously, Roshan is still a bit of a scary beast here in Midas mode. And Navi do know that. They're not going to head into the pit yet. Alliance starting to step outside of the base.
Yeah. This is the right move from Navi. You don't want to get into the pit and force a fight in the choke point. Try and fight in space. Allow Dendi to get into the side, maybe find EGM on the Shadow Demon again.
Puppey. He's leading the charge here. EGM will find him. Disruption setup. Can they go for this? Demonic Purge down onto Puppey. Puppey gets the living armor and the ult out. Art Style swap to save Puppey. Puppey will be kept alive for now. Finally falls though. The poison from Jerry was enough, and now Alliance, they can collapse in to look for more. They'll get themselves on top of Art Style and take down the second support. They get the two of them. A buyback from Puppey, but no buyback available from Art Style. So now a minute where Alliance will have the upper hand in numbers, and the money is there for Chessy to finish off that Rapier if he wishes.
I think he definitely wants to. You can hear the crowd getting into
They
it.
take it so quickly, though. Roche doesn't stand a chance against the physical output, and there will not be any Super Roshan purchases.
Watch the Rover, though. It's heading towards the Secret Shop right now.
Here's the Rapier pickup. Make sure that he gets it back safely. He's going to run it down that top tree line, so should be a safe delivery. So they have the Rapier ready for the high ground hold.
Please. I don't know who's Michael.
I saw the courier sort of take a step to the side there. Bit of miscommunication. They've got to keep that courier safe. So they will indeed do so. Get it back. That's a little bit risky there, of course. Artstyle having the Axe does have that illusion with the spells. Nearly got vision. A couple of right clicks might have actually done it. But here we have it. They've got the Rapier ready to hold. The question is, Carl, will it be enough? Is this Deucer now at a point that makes it very hard for Navi to push in? Oh, whoa, okay, with swaps like that, Chessy. It's got to be careful. Sure, the Venge is dead, but you can never write off the fact that that Aghanim's illusion is still going to have the skills to play with. You cannot forget about that. I see a Vorst as well. Not a man to be one-upped. He wants to get the Rapier online as well. In classic old-school Havor style. It's now a Vorst, in fact, on the front of it all. A little too far out for them to go as Alliance. They can relax a little bit more now with their Rapier done. And Chessy, he has got the 25. I imagine, did he take the effect talent, or did he take the extra units being against the Spider? Oh, sorry, no, it's changed now, isn't it? It's just the extra mana.
Yeah.
All right, so he should be pretty hard to kill. We did say that a few times earlier. In fact, well, Artstyle, he will be found. Navi being picked apart a little bit on the side of Vorst is trying to go into Bulldog. We see top lane. Dendi's going for the rat play. He's focusing the buildings. Will force out the fortification as Alliance sort of getting split between what they want to go for. Vorst, he's just BKBing and hitting the racks. The Glaze are bouncing around. Chetsy's outside of the base. He's finished on Puppey. Vorst is trying to find this objective, but now the BKB ends. Vorst is left inside the base. He does have the Aegis, but it's just him and Light of Heaven here. They've got a good shot at killing him off twice. Artstyle with the illusion will swap back Chessy, take him away from this potential second kill on Havors for now. Bulldog staying on top of Light of Heaven. Alliance, they still want to keep this chase on. They know with 2 dead on Navi, this is a great time for them to continue to try and punish these heroes of Navi. Bulldog, has he got the backup? They're turning on him. Bulldog will fall, but it's given time for Chessy to turn up. We'll get the initial Skadi hit onto Light of Heaven. Setups from EGM with that disruption. Havors in potential trouble. Demonic Purge down. Havors trying his best to fight this, but with the Rapier on Chessy, there's no hope for him. As Havors will fall, they get the kills. Top lane, Dendi did manage to get the range racks. Melee racks also being beaten down upon, but Ake is able to push away the spiders. Navi getting maybe a little desperate with their plays there. That was a moment of gameplay where they had the Aegis on Havors, but things did not really go to plan.
No, they definitely didn't, but they got
a bit of the base.
They got a tower, they got 2 range racks. You'll still take it. And Alliance have got to be careful now. They don't have Glyph for 3.5 minutes.
They're going to try and poke out this buyback.
Yeah, it could be time. It could be, you could theoretically go for Throne as well. You have a Rapier on Dusa. You're strong enough to do so. This is going to be it. I think Alliance might just go for the win here.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of pushing power. Havors is almost going to have to certainly buy back. Let's see what sort of a hold they put together. Fortifications out.
Yeah,
with that Glyph in mind, Chessy setting up to take this tower and start to potentially immediately move forward onto the tier 4s. Havors has to buy back, surely. As the tier 4s getting
running out of time.
focused, they're going to melt pretty quickly to this Rapier. There comes the buyback. We'll see what Alliance's reaction will be now. Chessie, he's swapped in deep. He gets the Stone Gaze off in time, though, as now Navi, they're split apart. Artstar will be the focus as they're on top of the Vengeful Spirit. He's dead for 70, no buyback. Alliance, can they move on for another? Dendi held outside of the base. The roots come out from Puppey. The ult as well from Light of Heaven. Is it enough damage, though? Crimson Guard giving them some sort of safety. Dendi moving in with a BKB. He's not to Ake, but the Aphotic Shield from Loda keeps Ake alive. They'll turn back towards Dendi. Dendi's in trouble. The Vessel's on top of him. He has no lifesteal. The scrape for Ake keeps him alive. Dendi falls. He'll buy back. Loda's being focused. Chessie trying to turn towards Force. Force has he got the damage? He's trying to bring down the Deucer, but he cannot. A disruption comes out. Chessie takes down one. He takes down a Force. There's 4 on Navi. GG is called, and Alliance will take game 1.
Wow. Deuce Rapier, baby. I mean, you talk about a blast from the past. We got teams Ti1, Ti3 winners. And what a better, you can't ask for a better way to get it. Is this our first